Year you step outside, the sun is up and the temperatures are high, and it's something we can't quite control here in Florida, but it's so important to make sure we're taking care of our skin. Believe it or not, there are people out there who have been making homemade sunscreens. Sounds harmless, right? I don't know. Dr. Julia Merton, she's a UNF Associate Professor of Public Health, and she's here with us now to chat a little bit more about this and if this is the route you should go. So there was a recent study done that you did. How long has this been a thing? Do people actually make homemade sunscreen?
Okay, your reaction is exactly like mine was, and that's how I got the research idea. I'm a skin cancer researcher by trade, but I get all my best ideas out on the streets with my friends and in conversation, and I heard moms chatting about, oh my gosh, I made this great homemade sunscreen. And I thought,
were there sirens that go off in your head?
Surely they're kidding. And then inevitably the story went, yeah, it's really weird. My kid got a really bad sunburn. I thought, oh heavens. So that
no wonder.
Right. And so that led off the study. I went on Pinterest, sure enough, hundreds, probably over 1,000 at this point, recipes for homemade sunscreens. And even without a scientific eye, you would immediately go, oh, coconut oil, not going to work for you.
Wow.
And that led us on this journey to really thoughtfully analyze those recipes.
And so what did the study find?
Well, it was so interesting. It found that the majority, 95% of the pins that we pulled raved about homemade sunscreens. They didn't warn about the effects of this probably isn't going to work for you. You're probably going to get a sunburn, and even worse, it may lead to skin cancer. So 95% were positive, and then we really analyzed and looked at the ingredients. 65% offered minimal, and I'm talking 1 or 2 SPF protection. The 35% that had some protection, they had an ingredient called zinc oxide in them, which is kind of the Cadillac of sunscreen ingredients. But the tricky part is you're making it at home. You don't know whether you're getting it all the way through. You don't know whether you're using enough. Is it going to stand up in the heat? Is it water resistant? There's so many things to think about that we don't think about when we use commercially available sunscreens, because it's already been done for us, and we don't have to think about that.
So a lot of people nowadays, you know, they're paying a lot more attention, obviously if they're not the ones that is making a homemade sunscreen, they're paying a lot more attention to organic products. In the world of sunscreen, I mean, it gets so overwhelming as far as the products go, so what is your advice on that?
I don't disagree with them, because I feel like every week on the news we learn about something that we thought was safe, and all of a sudden it's really bad for us. And so I find myself gravitating toward natural, organic products as well. But just because it's labeled organic, you do it yourself, it says non-toxic, that doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you or a safer option, because in this example, the flip side's a really bad sunburn. So my advice for people that are concerned about the chemicals in their sunscreen, I would direct them to look more toward a mineral-based sunscreen. So a mineral sunscreen doesn't chemically react on your skin. It actually creates a barrier on your skin to reflect the sun away. So as I mentioned earlier, zinc oxide, an amazing
key ingredient that we need to look for.
Yeah, there are zinc oxide sunscreens, titanium dioxide, those kind of sunscreens. They offer both UVA and UVB protection. You can't go wrong with those kind of products, and it gets away from some of the concerns with the chemicals absorbing in and being endocrine disruptors, destroying the coral reefs, things of that nature that are out there on the blogs right now.
All right, guys, so shop at your local drugstores, not on Pinterest.
I love it.
That is rule number one, the only rule you need to learn today. And head over to our website, firstcoastliving.net, to watch this segment again. And of course,